In our series celebrating Paris's rich cultural diversity, we're meeting with Americans living and working in the French capital. Natives of both the north and south of the American continent now call Paris home, and they've brought with them a huge range of traditions and customs, from warm Latin beats to the recipe for a real dirty martini. Well, our guide, Shona Bhattacharyya, starts by boarding a suburban line to attend Chilean Independence Day celebrations just outside the capital.
Welcome to Savigny-le-Temple, outside Paris. Today we're celebrating Chile's independence, our first sample of different musical genres from the American continent. It's the yearly gathering of the Chilean community, a kid-friendly fair complete with specialty goods, music, and traditional dances. Many Chileans in France were given political refugee status after the 1973 coup d'etat, like Alexander, the man behind this festival.
We try to recreate a Chilean atmosphere. If you take a look at the stands, you can find typical Chilean food. We don't eat it often, only on Sundays, though in Chile, they don't have traditional foods that often either. Today, we're trying to do the same thing. Our coming here wasn't for nothing. It allowed us to be known, to make Chile known, and show French people our society is almost as open as theirs.
15,000 Chileans live in France. That's a good deal greater than the Cuban community that weighs in at less than 3,000 people, though some members are hard to miss. Carlos shares his country's culture through salsa. He's been giving classes in the Parisian suburbs for the last 15 years.
What we're trying to do here with our club, Listen Up France, is to add our little grain of salt to a society that's going through an economic crisis, but that shouldn't be synonymous with a spiritual crisis. To help society move in the right direction, we should look at one another in the eyes like the human beings we are. Ain't that right?
At the end of the lesson, it's time to move on to Brazil, or should we say a trendy Parisian neighborhood for a samba party. Once a month, Maria José comes here to forget her troubles.
They're a Brazilian group that features music and traditions from Brazil's north and northeastern regions. For the French public, they play forró, samba, cha-cha-cha, and they show off our Brazilian culture.
The musicians mix with the public as they play. Rodrigo plays the banjo. For him, Paris is a source of inspiration.
It's an art capital. And as an artist, I can say there are a lot of artists here. Even people who won't admit it have taste. They have an ear for good music. That helped me rediscover samba.
One last song in this Latin atmosphere, and the night winds down to the sounds of jazz at Harry's Bar. This New York institution fled prohibition in 1911. It was taken apart and rebuilt as is here in Paris. A century later, it still symbolizes an American era.
When I was a kid growing up in America, my parents would listen to this music. So in part, when I come here and I hear this music, it kind of brings me back. It's just a great feeling.
They actually make a martini, an American martini, and don't pour the brand name martini in a glass and give it to you.
A real witness to American history, Harry's Bar was Ernest Hemingway's favorite hangout. Today, it remains a rallying point for some of France's 100,000 American citizens.
And that's where we're leaving it for this hour live from Paris. But stay tuned to France 24. We have a full news update coming up at the top of the hour. We'll be going to our correspondent outside Paris's main mosque. Stay with us.